studying outside?
I can't travel inside. I don't have visa.
Why you want to enter the country illegally when there's legal ways?
My visa was refused. Please tell me where you got your visa.
Go to LIIE Immigration.
What?
LIIE Immigration.
Thanks. I will jump in LIIE's office.
If you wish to come to UK or you want to extend your visa, then do contact LIIE Immigration.
We also deal in business visa, work permits and student visa.
We also handle detention cases, deportation, human rights, asylum and appeals.
We also specialize in Canada and Europe immigration.
To defeat LIIE, trust LIIE.
Hungary is a Schengen state, and immigrants who wish to move towards the European Union, I will be talking on those things, and I'm having Mr. Ernest, the principal director of the college with me. I think and you got a branch worldwide as well. So just tell me about the London College and your Hungary and the another branch as well.
Yeah, that's right. So you're correct. The college was established in 1990. We're based in North London in Seven Sisters. And when we first started, we were focused on courses, vocational training for the local population. And we used to do things like dressmaking, hairdressing, those types of courses. Over time, we developed so that as well as vocational training, we were also delivering training in academic and also professional training. And that moved on to mainly international students. And we were having students coming from all over the world, Africa, from different parts of Asia, from China as well, to come and study with us. Unfortunately, the difficulties that have happened across the sector with respect to the UK BA meant that, like most private colleges, we stopped serving international students and came back to refocus on the local students again. But in the meantime, we knew that students all over the world were really looking for UK qualifications, and we were looking for ways that we could help them in terms of gaining these qualifications in a different setting. And so we spent the last 2 years setting up our college in Budapest, Hungary, and that will serve non-EU, but also EU students who are looking to gain qualifications. We're starting with the business qualifications, and they will serve people who are looking to get H&D type qualifications, moving on to university degrees as well.
So initially they are starting for level 4 and level 5 in business management.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So the equivalent here would be starting, so having achieved an A-level or HSC in different countries, they will be now looking to access universities, so levels 4, 5, and then we are in negotiations at the moment with universities so that they'll be able to complete their degree at our base in Hungary.
In Hungary, if I say regarding this initial course on business, what are the eligibility criteria education qualification wise?
So to gain access to this course, we're looking for people who can manage both the academic side but also the language side. So it's a course that's delivered in English, even though it's going to be set in Budapest in Hungary. And so we're looking for people who would have IELTS equivalent of 5.5. Now you don't need IELTS to actually gain a visa into the country, but to be able to manage the program, we know that a student would need to be at the level of 5.5. So right now we're accepting students who also have IELTS 4.5, and what we will do is give them extra time on the course, so an extra 6 months, so that we can build up their English level to get them to the level of 5.5, and then they will also be able to join the course. So this is aimed from a language perspective at those who would be at least IELTS 4.5, but with a view to getting up to IELTS 5.5 so they could manage this course. So, from an academic perspective, they would also need to have the equivalent of a level 3 qualification. So, they would have finished 10+2, and they would be looking to then come on to this program at amendment.
So minimum 12 years of study, and IELTS 4.5 or 4.5. If they are having 5.5, that's well enough. And otherwise, you will give them an additional 6 months of English training within the country. But if a person is good enough in English, they don't have IELTS, that can be done through Skype interviews.
Yes, that's right. I mean, everyone who makes an application to the college will have an interview, regardless of what certificates they present to us. So even if someone sends us their application and it has, say, a certificate for IELTS 6.5, they will still have an interview through Skype, and hopefully the certificate that they presented to us will show that yes, that the level is correct, and so for that reason we can accept them straight away without giving them the pre-sessional, the 6 months pre-sessional course.
There are students, I mean, because this show go around whole of the Europe, all the Schengen countries. So I got viewers in those countries as well. So students or immigrants who are already within the country, for example, whether they are the student visa or on a visitor visa, still, I mean, if they qualify, they can join from within Europe as well.
Yes, that's possible. That's possible. As long as there's enough time on their visa that will allow them to go through the process of submitting an application and having it considered, then yes, they will. So I would say they would need at least 45 days minimum really on their visa still left to be able to make an application from within Europe.
So starting with the application process for Hungary, because now it's a September intake going on. So initially we receive the initial documents and the application form, and then you do the Skype. Just a brief about the process of the application and the admission process.
Yeah. Okay. So we were able to assess the documents of an applicant very quickly. So firstly, we will receive the applicant's documents along with our application form. So their academic background, their language background as well, and then also by filling out their application form, we have an idea as to what they have been doing. Maybe some have been working as well. So we can make a decision very quickly on that. And if the decision is that the person has the necessary level, or we think they have, then we will proceed to interview, and that will be a Skype interview, and we will forward a conditional offer letter for that.
So,
once the interview is scheduled, the interview will go through, and it's normally 15 minutes interview, and after that we will make a determination as to whether we feel the person can manage the program and is ready to do so, and on that basis then a post-interview conditional offer letter will be made. And that will set out the conditions by which, should the person want to take their position in the college, they need to satisfy. Once we have those satisfied, then we will send out an acceptance letter, and it's that letter, along with the accounts of the individual and all of their the documents that they would use to then attempt to get a visa.
For applying the visa, apart from your confirmation letter with the fees paid, what other formalities are regarding this for applying the visa? I mean, the bank statement, how much the funds are required to be shown?
Okay, so typically we need to show between 6,000 and 8,000 euros as a minimum. So between 6,000 and 8,000 euros, and ideally for a period of 3 months. Sometimes they ask for 6 months, but ideally for a period of 3 months.
So the college also provide the accommodation. Can you tell me briefly about the living cost of Hungary?
Well, I mean, in terms of, firstly, the accommodation, we're very, very proud of the accommodation in that it is set right around the college. It's like college halls, so every facility is there. And the reason it's important for us is that obviously we're having people that are coming into a new setting, and really, the life of the student, especially for the first period, first 6 months, first year, is really focused on the college. So we have systems there, we have support in place that we can manage, everything that the student would need from an academic perspective, but also from a pastoral and personal perspective. I think the reason that Hungary is so attractive is because I know many people in the past have wanted to come to the UK, and the UK is obviously attractive for lots of different reasons, family, contact, etc. But it's also very expensive. When you compare that with the cost of living in Hungary, you'd see that it's probably, I would say, maybe 30 to 40% of the cost. So in terms of accommodation for a year in one of our halls is something like, I think it's 2,800 euros for the year. So it gives you an idea, for the same sort of accommodation in the UK, you'd be looking at maybe £5,000, £6,000.
So yes, apart from this accommodation, as you said, you can get a UK qualification in Europe, that too in a Schengen country, at a very low cost in comparison to UK.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, as an international student looking to study for the same course that we're offering, if you went to a university, you'd be looking at £10,000 a year, so, the equivalent of £30,000 for the 3 years. In our UK college, the same course would cost £5,000 per year. Now, in Hungary, we're offering, there's quite a big discount right now, but we're offering it at the euro equivalent, so €5,000, or just under €5,000. But when you look at the first year, the second year, and the third year, if you were to do all of that in Hungary, you're looking at, a maximum maybe of £12,000 as a cost for your 3-year study, as opposed to £30,000, and you would come out with the same qualification. You'd come out with the UK university degree.
That's something wonderful comparison. Here for universities, now 10 to 12,000 is 9,000 to 12. For international students, of course, it is something around 10 to 12,000 per year. But in Hungary, for 3 years, it will be the total cost what the international student has to pay here in UK for the same degree.
I mean, that's right. I mean, prices change over time, but right now there's a very positive comparison economically to be made, and people should try and take advantage of it if they're looking for a UK qualification.
Just for a future plan, after level 4, 5, would you be able to top up with the universities of UK while doing in Hungary? That's what your future.
Yeah. So, what will happen is they will have three options. They will have 3 options that I can see. So the first would be, they finish with the diploma, no problem, and they decide to return. Another option will be that they decide, okay, well, having completed the UK qualification to HND level, it's recognised by UK universities, and they can make an application to the UK to go and study at a university to get the top-up degree. Alternatively, as I said earlier, we are in negotiations with 3 universities right now, with the view of gaining a top-up qualification that will be delivered at our college in Hungary. So the idea is that someone would have the opportunity to study for 3 years at our campus in Budapest.
So as you said, after this, either they can return back to their home country, or they can move to UK. Even if they wish to work further, stay in Hungary, they can get their permanent residency and citizenship as well after a set period of time.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, after 3 years, there are opportunities in Hungary. So after 3 years, you have the opportunity to apply for a national settlement permit. And that is like a national ID card. It's like a passport. So it's like a passport in the EU. So it allows you to have permanent residency status in Hungary, and also allows you to travel for periods within the Schengen countries.
Yeah, when they get that resident card, then they can work or stay in any of those Schengen countries.
Yeah, that's correct. And then if you were to go beyond that, so to a 5th year, and by that time have learnt the Hungarian language, and incidentally we will be offering Hungarian language studies within our college as well from year 2, and then you will have the opportunity to apply for citizenship in Hungary as well.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, if a person starts learning Hungarian in the initial stages as well, it will be easy for them to find the work as well within the local community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the other point I should mention, so there are many opportunities that we offer within the college, lots of enrichment activities in terms of going round to different places of cultural significance within Hungary. But one of the things we also want to do is make sure that people who come to our college, and it's the same that we used to do in the UK, or we do in the UK as well as learning the theory, they also get the practical experience. So from year 2, we also organise work placements within, that are related to our training. And so obviously it does mean that when someone finish the programme and return home, hopefully they're able to say, well, they can point to practical experience they've had, and should they look to pursue working opportunities in Hungary, then they can also point to the working opportunities they've had while studying.
Absolutely. I mean, if they are good enough in internship, they may be able to continue with the same company in future as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That opportunity will be there. Yeah.
So now coming back to UK, I mean, during this time we got queries regarding short-term English courses for overseas students within that student visitor program. So if you can just brief me that 1 or 2 months of English course in which the students can come here and improve their IELTS scores, or they want to learn more about the British English.
Yeah, so we have the opportunity for people who want to come over and improve their English on a short-term basis to come and study with us through the student visitor visa. And what that would entail is a 2-month course. We would assess before they come the level that they are so that we can obviously tailor the course to their needs. But it would be focusing on speaking, listening, reading, writing, and improving the elements of their English language ability over that period. So, like I say, it's tailored courses over a 2-month period, and we would, as well as teaching the program, we would also be looking at again making sure that we're able to enrich the program by going to different events of cultural significance whilst they're here, so that they can also tell a great story about the UK, and if they want to, use that as a springboard to apply to further studies, once they've achieved the language level they need.
Anyway, that was a brief about the short-term course of English. And your final word regarding Hungary September intake, Ernest?
Well, if I may, there's 2 more things I would say. And one would be that right now in the UK, we have opportunities for those who are looking to study the HND, so that they can use those 2 years as a springboard for going to university and later for 1 more year. And that's really aimed at mature students who thought the opportunity maybe had passed them by. And they'll have an opportunity to study. They receive funds for the tuition fees, and also they receive funds for their maintenance support. But like I say, I mean, in terms of Hungary, I think it's a fantastic opportunity. It's a beautiful city. If any of you have if you've travelled to Paris, it's on a par with Paris in terms of its beauty and significance and architecture, and a real transformational experience, and also the opportunity for economic opportunities beyond that as well. So I think it's the full package, and it's an undiscovered jewel. So if anyone has the opportunity, they should get in contact and see how we can help.
That's great. Yes, definitely. I would like to highlight your HND program for British citizens or European citizens who have been in the country for at least 3 years, I believe, and they can do those courses free of cost at the college.
Yeah, absolutely. We're ready to help and support. And one of the things I'd say, because we are, we're a more intimate college than university, so it's not about lecturing, it's about teaching and really supporting some students who haven't learned for a long time, to be honest, and so teaching them to learn, learning to learn again, and supporting them through that process so that they gain confidence and skills, and hopefully will go on, as many of our graduates have done, to universities where they've achieved 2-1s and firsts. So, we're hoping that we can talk about more students going through that program.
Yeah, just briefly, what subjects are these HND courses for British citizens?
So the ones, the business management. So there's a business management focused program over which you do 16 units over a 2-year process, and it's assignment based, and it's classroom delivery. So like I say, there's a lot to be done initially, just learning to learn again, but we offer full support along the way.
Thank you very much, Anas, for the very short term notice you came on here. Thank you very much, Anas.
Hey, what are you doing outside?
I can't travel inside. I don't have visa.
Why you want to enter the country illegally when there's legal ways?
My visa was refused. Please tell me where you got your visa.
Go to LIIE Immigration.
What?
LIIE Immigration.
Thanks. I will jump in LIIE's office.
If you wish to come to UK or you want to extend your visa, then do contact LIIE Immigration.
We also deal in business visa, work permits and student visa.
We also handle detention cases, deportation, human rights, asylum and appeals.
We also specialize in Canada and Europe immigration.
Feed LIIE, trust LIIE.